Hey, welcome back everyone. In the last video I enhanced the AI for my FPS game set during the Spanish-American War of 1898. In this video, we're going to begin adding more unique gameplay elements. First though, I tweaked the AI fighting code to run a bit faster, be less buggy, and be more responsive. So now the AI updates more frequently and poses a more serious threat to the player. I then added a zooming feature for the soldier switching mechanic, allowing the player to zoom out to see the whole battle. It was while doing this I realized just how big the battles would be in terms of size, and that got me thinking. After a quick search and a tour through Wikipedia, I realized there were a lot more battles than I first thought. So I made this summarized list of the major ones and categorized them based on land and sea. And after some thought, I have decided to cancel any work on the naval portion of the game, which would have added too much complexity and made the game less focused. So long, naval combat, you didn't even exist. Anyway, I next tweaked the soldier objects to now contain specific damage areas, which will deal more damage to the soldier. So shooting a soldier in the head will instantly kill them, while shooting them in the foot will barely do any damage. The AI is also now aware of this and will continuously cycle through each of these damage areas, which has made them quite menacing. Run. With that all out of the way, it was time to make the unique aspects of the game. For this, I'm going to have to once again explain things through some more drawings. The game will give players the ability to play as 3 different types of soldiers, similar to how many action games today have operators or unique characters. Each soldier type is unique and players must use all of them effectively in combination with the soldier switching mechanic to complete each battle. Of course, we'll have the standard infantry, who we've already been working on for quite a while. These guys will be equipped with a primary rifle and a secondary handgun from a large selection of weapons used during the war. They are large in number and can follow unit commands and are generally the ones the player will use the most. The second type is artillery. These guys are easily the most powerful, launching artillery shells or dynamite, which can instantly kill soldiers from hundreds of feet away. They come in both traditional cannon style as well as mounted machine guns. They also have a swath of health, making them hard to take out. But of course this all comes at one flaw, and that is that they are literally stuck to one spot and can only rotate as a means for aiming. Lastly, there is the commanding cavalry. If you haven't already known, during the Spanish-American War, transport boats had a hard time supplying the fighting force with horses, meaning horses were mostly used by commanding officers and not by typical infantry. What those officers didn't realize is that over 100 years later, this would make a newbie game designer's life easier because he wouldn't have to make programmable horses that could be used by any soldier type and can instead just combine cavalry with commanding officers. Bliss. So obviously cavalry are going to have some of the best and fastest mobility in the game, but as their name implies, they can also give out commands to small units of soldiers. These commands are not terribly advanced and can simply be mapped to a 4-directional D-pad on any controller. Commands like regroup and follow or stand ground or charge this position, you get the idea. The one downside of commanding officers is that they only have access to a single handgun. Now I know there's going to be some nerd out there like, but actually, the cavalry at the time were known to have carbine variants of the Krag Jorgensen. And to that I said, yeah, I know, but I have to make these guys have some disadvantage or else no one would play as anybody else. Anyway, back to Unity. I first attempted to set up the artillery type, which I thought should be straightforward and easy. Shouldn't take no longer than a day to implement, right? I want to die. Anyway, here's the artillery type. I had to modify a couple of pre-existing scripts, including the one in charge of soldier switching, to be compatible with the artillery type. I then replaced the player movement script for this type with a completely separate script which angles the cannon and rotates the entire artillery unit based on mouse inputs. Instead of using raycast like I did with the infantry, instead the artillery spawns a shell object and uses Unity's built-in physics engine to be aimed over some distance and explode on impact. The AI system will also be replaced with a custom AI script, which simply finds a soldier and then fires. Wonderful, what the hell. Now because I'm rather dumb with math, I found a helpful script by Jason Wyman that I reconfigured to work with my AI script, so that the AI can figure the correct trajectory to fire artillery shells. Awesome. So on to making the commanding officers, which I can use the infantry as a base for. Just raise a soldier off the ground, add a cube, and... you all know this is a placeholder, right? Look guys, he's riding the horse forwards and backwards. Yeah, and if that wasn't cursed enough, Unity was throwing another scaling issue when I tried rotating the soldier. So I had to do yet another placeholder change.
What the fuck?
Should be noted that when I start creating the regular 3D models, this won't be an issue because the scaling will be uniform with the model. But for now, we'll have to settle for cube horse. Alright, but making the code for this should be easy, right? I mean, it's just the controls. I barely even need to touch the AI. I want to die. Anyway, here is the commanding officer type. He moves forward and backwards at a relatively fast speed. The horse can rotate and the officer can swivel on top of the horse to aim, but can only do so in a forward direction. Nice. Now I would start working on the actual commands, but at this point the video has been dragging on for too long, so I'll leave that for the next video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or subscribe for future game dev videos, and until next time, thanks for watching.